Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, is it a fact or not that when you do crack cocaine and methamphetamine, no matter what your religion is, no matter who you are, if you're a human being, you're going to experience, like, how you say, psychosis, right? And that's what we kind of label as like zombie, right? Or zombie psychotype, okay? Now, demon psyche type is the people that are functioning drug addicts that get caught up in politics or get caught up in certain loops or cycles, right? And that's what people would call like dynasties or stuff like that, right? Or here in America, presidencies or whatever. So basically, these people could be using my same way of defending myself with language, right, against me. So by saying that I'm facilitating or being a supporting character of a narrative that's painting them out to be zombies, right? And that's where you have to understand and think at like higher than you have to you have to think critically, right, on to see if that's true or not. So it's been proven that that's what happens when you abuse substances. And people are trying to say that is not why it happens, that people can abuse substances and they want to get away with it because they have money and this and that, right? But they're not seeing themselves falling into those psychotypes. So even the animal psyche type, right? When like my dad, he's like, sometimes he's, I wouldn't, not he's like, not that he's an animal, but I'm saying that he's like lost in his mind, right? Like he's awake, but he's still like, his mind is foggy. He does not have mental clarity. So his mind only works for like certain, like driving and, you know, going to the store. If it wasn't for that, his dexterity would be off, you know? So if it wasn't for his daily routine, he would be stuck. Just like the video I shared of this girl doing gymnastics, doing the Toy Story challenge. Okay? She looks stuck like that. So my dad would be that if he didn't have a routine. So something, you know, something must be off with her routine or her education that is not allowing her to, like, I don't know, guys. That's the thing. Or it could be just bait for people like myself that are subjected to this repetitive, it's a torture program, ladies and gentlemen. It's a thing that they do to molest people, and they get caught up in it, and so they get pleasure in switching on and off, right? In having the ability to hurt people telepathically by knowing their triggers, right? So that's why it's extremely important that I represent myself every single day, and that the foundation of genuine education that I got, ladies and gentlemen, allows me to explain and articulate myself as to why this is avoiding all those pitfalls. Why, like, by being yourself and, how you say, you're able to see where how the infrastructure like catches you, right? And how it doesn't work if you're not yourself. Because if you're not yourself, it's going to overemphasize that, you know, that part that you're trying to mimic. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm saying, like, it's a universal, global, non-molded agenda, because you can mimic. Not only can you mimic me, but you have no, like, there are people that have no choice but to be like myself, right? And or like to have that we have the same values, and that comes from thousands of years of human history, right? Or millions of years, however long, trillions, however long we've been alive on different planets or whatever. So what I'm saying is that that's something that is always going to be there. So that's why hopefully people understand, like, I can articulate that these people, the thing that's bad about these people is that they're trying to enforce their narrative saying that I'm trying to make them out to be a zombie or something. Ladies and gentlemen, they're defending their own zombie behavior. Or their own well, guys, they're basically trying to enslave us, man. And so basically you have to remember how we stay away from that. And they've been using guilt against you, pretty much, and me. Not really guilt against me, but they get me to help them, right? They're saying that, oh, we've been oppressed and this and that, and drug dealing, and because we have no money, and this is how we live our life, and we justify it however they do it, right? And we literally can't say anything. We just have to be ourselves. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you defeat evil, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, that's your power. And then that's where you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, that's where they strike first. That's when devils strike, when they see your power, right? When they see that you know who you are. Excuse me. It's almost like they have campaigns to mold you, right? So, for example, I wear my keys right here on my hip, because getting out, like, you get not only institutionalized, but it's like you become like, you have to do what you have to do to defend yourself, and a lot of that is not just physically, but it's also lawful. So even though this is a weak doorknob, even though it's locked, that's still breaking and entering. So that's tools that we can use to our advantage, and we have that hopefully because of this incorporated city, because this incorporated city means that we can use all these other extra people to keep other people away, to keep their own bad people away, you see? But if it's an unincorporated city, then that means that you have to do all the work yourself. So that's a question to James C. Lovett as well. Maybe we could find some clarity on that subject, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a question that he hasn't answered yet. Well, he's answered it, but not acknowledging my YouTube channel, not acknowledging my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, guys. I was born in 1994, and then in this real estate development since 1996. This was incorporated, City of Elk Grove, the year 2000. And 2001, I was in the second grade at Raymond Case Elementary School, in which that's when the World Trade Center were demolished and the Pentagon was struck, and yeah, all that happened, ladies and gentlemen. So there's always going to be that after effect. So thank you for listening.